determine vintage. You break in your creams with cream stems and put in the PE. Yes, I did not break in the PE stems. I got a batch of really good PE stems. So I did not break them in at all. I should have, but I didn't. Oh, that feels fucking great. Oh, a lot of these feel amazing. Okay, and then some of them don't. Okay, I'll have to come back. Okay, wait. Nope. So that one had a little inconsistency. When I got near the bottom of the key press, I could feel something that shouldn't have been there. There's a lot of reasons for it to basically fail initial cherry picking. Like this one just feels incredibly scratchy throughout the key press, so that goes over there. And also it felt lopsided, as if the weight didn't come down uniformly. And it's kind of hard to be able to tell if it's like a spring issue or a switch issue. This one is a little bit on the scratchy side. This one is good. This one is really good. And also another thing, you want to press them from like multiple angles if you can. Because like if you just press it from one angle, you're not really testing anything. So it won't necessarily point out any flaws that there may be with the switch. This one is a weird spring. This one is a really weird spring, geez. But it is smooth, so it passes. Use the bad switches on a board. Well, these are still going to get a second pass, as are the good ones. So this is just the initial split. After that, I'm still going to confirm. So like if I determine that like a few of these, and when I say a few is like 60 plus are like top tier, I'll batch those together. So like I know to put those in like my best board, for example. Okay, this one is hella scratchy. This is the first hella scratchy one. So there's only been one thus far that's just hella scratchy. This one's a little scratchy. A little scratchy. You can just put them in a plate, wrap in bubble wrap, and step on it. Nice. Yeah, don't get a 60% for breaking in. Literally get a full size that is hot swap, or at least a TKL. Because otherwise, like you're not breaking in enough switches at any one time. I think this one has a spring issue. Don't you spring swap before cherry picking to have a baseline between all switches? I'm able to identify when the spring is being an issue just from enough experience. Spring swapping and then cherry picking will like facilitate the process, especially if you've got really consistent springs. But if you've got really consistent springs, you already know what you're doing well enough to be able to just know that this particular one has a spring issue. Where's the stone? Would you recommend the loop station method? Put in loop station, flip it over, and press down multiple times? No, there is no replacement for actual break-in. I will explain why. Okay, I will explain to you why there is no substitute for breaking. When you type on a board, you do a lot of things. Thing number one is you press down at various depths. You don't always bottom out. You don't always bottom out at the same force. Part two is how hard are you hitting it? Okay, so for example, do I type super heavy? Do I type super light? Some switches I'll hit harder, some switches I won't, depending on their location, right? Thing number three, I will press at different angles, which will put more stress on one side versus the other. So over time, you break in the surrounding area. But if you're just doing a consistent action, like an automated thing, then it's gonna make it really smooth for that automated thing, but it's entirely possible that when you physically press the switches, you don't reap any of the benefits. You press the loop station at an angle, yeah, but like, What switches? These are Gateron clears that we are cherry picking, seeing which ones are good. The good thing about the loop station method is you can break in evenly across all the switches. Yes, it is very even. But that's also the issue, is that it's very even. Okay, that's scratchy. Right. Thus far, we have more good switches than bad switches, which is pretty good. And I think a lot of these can be saved. Like, there's only been one that's been, like, terrible. Ooh, that's bad. All right, we need our baseline again. What about using switches in different rows due to frequency? Well, if you're rotating, you want to rotate rows, you want to rotate alphas and mods, you want to rotate everything. How do you save a bad switch? For example, I could have a switch that just has a bad leaf versus a bad top, or one with a bad stem. So essentially, I'll disassemble them. If I see one that has, you know, a bad bottom because the leaf is fucked up, then I won't use it. I'll use a different bottom. So I can take parts. So parts from like multiple switches and like make one decent switch. And in general, I can keep most of the milky tops because they're nice to have. And I can probably keep most of the stems. So like the only issue might be the bottom. I'm kind of torn on this one, so we'll skip. That is not good. Okay, this one has a spring issue. And it is scratchy. So I was able to identify that. There is a spring issue. The spring feels incredibly crunchy when it shouldn't. But also it is scratchy. It's just hard to tell because of the spring. Have GAT inks run into the same quality issues? Yes. GAT inks have been bad. The only good GAT inks were the very first round / batch. Everything after that has just been increasingly problematic. And for the price point that you're paying, you can literally buy 3 or 4 of these. That means you can cherry pick literally the smoothest. Isn't Taobao China only? Yes, but you can buy from superbuy.com, which is what I did. So like, they will buy the thing for you. You like give them the link and tell them I want to buy this much, and you pay for it, and it arrives at their warehouse, and then they take pictures of it so you know you're not getting scammed, and then they repack it in like nice little packaging and send it to you. So it's a proxy, but they also do quality control. What is the difference between Telios and a regular Gateron switch between name? The molds are different, the material is different, the price is different. Zeal bottoms are different in general. SP Star switches are broken and we couldn't buy them today. What? What else did I order? I ordered a bunch of $5 keyboard stab sets, which we're gonna test and see if they're any good. It was $5.30 for a TKL's worth of stabilizers. Superbuy is dead today. Oh, nice. Well, it'll get better. He is drunk? How is he drunk? It's like 3 p.m. there. Are Chilios even worth it? Maybe. Maybe. If you don't want to go through the hassle of cherry picking as much, if money is no object, and you want a switch that's really smooth and don't really care about sound that much, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Like I can see there is like a niche for when like it makes sense. Milky top Chilios are nice. Don't listen to Simon. Bro, I'm just saying. Subjectivity. For some people, it's worth it. For me, it's not. When will Simon start getting drunk? I'm already on it, dude. Right here. I'm already enjoying some lovely cheap wine. I mean, I have a Telio build. It's not the best ever, but like, it's fine. GAT inks aren't nice. They're very problematic. And for the price that you're paying, you don't want to take that level of risk in general. Are Kiwis just recolored? Kiwis are JWK. Everything is JWK. JWK has a lot of issues. And in my opinion, is not worth the price that you pay for them. Especially when you can like buy Gaterons and cherry pick, you know. SP stars seem decently good. Yeah, I'm actually hyped to build it. I'm actually hyped to build with them. No, this is fine. This is not fine. All right, refreshing my memory with a smooth switch. What tactile would you recommend? Not MX. Every MX tactile is inherently flawed because can you compare SP star stem wobble versus GATS? Which GATS? I mean, I can. If it makes you feel better. Where is my I1 plate? All right, let's test wobble, even though I don't care about wobble, but we're testing it.